Pastor Tony Miltenberger. Sorry, Tony, I didn't mean to skip you there.
Okay, Mayor, I still love you.
This is a very, I know you do.
Will you guys pray with me? Most amazing and incredible God, we give you thanks for this glorious day that you've given us. We thank you for the opportunity that we have to serve this wonderful community, and we ask for your blessing upon this food and upon each and every business leader here. It's in your Son's most holy and precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Now it's time for the invocation. No, just kidding. Thank you very much, Pastor Miltenberger, for doing so. I apologize for missing you on the agenda there. It would have been right after breakfast this time. That's what we normally do it, but no. But thank you all again for being here today. Again, I'm Brooks Compton, Mayor of the City of Centerville. And I wanted to take just a couple minutes, if you don't mind, and introduce some of the elected officials throughout our community who are here today. And first, I'd like to mention, if I could, the council members that we have here today. Our Deputy Mayor, Belinda Kenley. Belinda, right there. Council Member John Palcher. Council Member John Beals. And Council Member Bill Sayre. Councilmember Joanne Rao has the unenviable assignment, business-related, out in Hawaii for a 10 days. And Mark was unable to make it due to Mark Engert, who's council member, was unable to make it due to a business commitment. We have a couple other representatives here today from Greg Brush's office wasn't able to be here, but Kimberly Harris is here on behalf of Greg. He is our Montgomery County Clerk of Courts. And if you've had an opportunity to review the work that they do on the website, they do a tremendous job. It's really, he's been there for a number of years, and each year it gets a little better. So if you could pass that along, that we really appreciate all that he does with respect to that. I have a couple other officials here today, if I could. Our fire chief, Bill Gall, is back there close to the door. What a great relationship they have with our police department and all the community. Chief, you do a great job. Appreciate that. Kim Ferris from the Washington Centerville Library. I think Kim is here, back there. I sent a message to tell us a little bit about the programming that's going on, and we could take a whole half hour discussing all the programs that the Washington Centerville Library has going on. And as you know, they have the great renovation, and the support that the community gives you shows you're really doing a terrific job. So thank you, Kim, very much. Arnie Biondo, I don't think he's here tonight or today, the director of the Centerville Washington Park District. But I had a chance to drive by Robert Mays Park on my way, as I do almost every morning. We're here to Yankee Trace, and you have to admit that Park District is doing a terrific job with all of what's going on in our community. If you're involved in any way with the kids or watching kids, there's a lot of activity on the parks, and they're really doing a terrific job. So when you get a chance to thank Arnie, go ahead and do so. He's doing really well. I want to mention a couple other people who are here today from the Centerville School System. Our superintendent, Tom Henderson, is here, and I think it's senior day, so he had to take off a little bit early. It's the last day for seniors. And Mitch Biederman, who is the treasurer for the school district, is here also. From Miami Valley Communications Council, Executive Director Brian Humphreys. And oftentimes we think of that just as being television programming, but there's a great deal of work with all the entities around here for their cable access, and also for many of the community benefits that are provided by that service. So Brian, thanks I'll see you later today at one of our board meetings there. I think Phil Plummer was going to be here today, but I think he had to cancel at the last minute, our sheriff. And also, let's see, Brian Martin. Brian Martin, every year I introduce Brian Martin for his first year as the Executive Director of the Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission, but he's been here 4 years now. So he's obviously enjoying his stay, and Brian has done a terrific job. He works hand in hand with Council Member John Beals for major transportation studies and awards throughout the community. So we're very fortunate that John serves with Brian on a very important committee throughout our community. Also like to introduce a little bit of staff so that if you have a chance to have any chance to interact with any of our staff, it'd be helpful to know who they are. So I'm just going to call out their names and ask if they'd stand up just briefly. Our Clerk of Council, Karen Andrews. And now Karen might be out in the, oh, there she is, okay. Our City Engineer, Jim Brenniger. Jim's back in the back there. Our Public Works Director, Doug Spittler's up here in front. Our Economic Development Director, Nathan Cahall, or Cahall, right here. Kristen Gottman, who is our Assistant to the City Manager, back in the back there. Kristen has a number of roles, one of which is the concert series during the summer. So she's in charge of that and does a terrific job, as well as handling Benham's Grove. Also have here our Finance Director is Jonathan Hudson, back in the back right there. And Jonathan has offered a little seminar on the porch if you'd like to discuss your tax situation after the meeting here today. You'll be there as long as you want, right, Jonathan? Scott Liberman, our City Attorney, is here today. Scott's over here also. We don't expect any legal problems, but just in case, Scott's here to do so. Our City Planner, Andrew Rodney, is here. Maureen Russell Hudson is right up here. Maureen is our Public Information Officer, and if you're involved in the city, you run into Maureen all the time. She does a terrific job. Julie Weaver, our Assistant Clerk of Council, is, where's Julie? Right there, okay. Jennifer Wilder, who is our Assistant to the City Manager. Jennifer, oh, she's our Human Resources Director also, and she was doing interviews this morning, so she had to leave for interviews with respect to a new dispatch position. And we also have Lieutenant Joe Levine, who is here on behalf of the Police Department. Lieutenant will have a couple comments about some programs which the police offer to all the businesses and residents through the city of Centerville. Mary Lou Pence is from the Public Works Department. And she handles all of our Arbor Day festivities and a lot of the work related to community activities through the Public Works Department. Has been with us for almost 30-some years now, if I'm correct. It's 28, so Mary Lou's done a terrific job with the city. And I think I've gotten all the city employees. Is there any other elected official or representative who stopped in that I didn't identify? Okay, I think I have everyone. Thank you. Oh, Terry Taylor, who's our superintendent out here at the golf course. Terry took over that job, I don't know how many years ago, but the level of the course, and if you've had a chance to play the course or be out here, he does a terrific job. Really, the course is in fantastic shape, and Terry really doing great work. And Jason, I think, is probably not in here, who's the supervisor of the food, who's our food director out here at Yankee Trace. We'll bring him out here later for a round of applause, but he really does a fantastic job for the city. Anyone who's had a banquet here really appreciate that. Let me just go on to a couple comments. Maureen Russell Hudson, if you would like, you don't need to come up, but if you would like any contact on how to get involved in the city or receive information from the city, Centerville has a Centerville Business Today, has Centerville Reports. We have a YouTube channel, we have a Facebook page, and we also have Twitter accounts. So if you'd like to get involved in any of those, just go to the city website, and you can sign up through the city website, or you can contact the city, and you then will have an opportunity to get on any of those and receive a lot of information that comes out about the city. One is Centerville Connections, and that addresses oftentimes some traffic issues that might be based upon improvements through our infrastructure that are taking place at various periods of time. Also wanted to mention just a couple committee assignments that the Centerville Council is working on that feel free to participate in. And One is the Business Advisory Committee, which is headed up by Belinda Kenley, our Deputy Mayor. And the new members are always welcome with respect to that. And that is a committee that's put together basically to address some of the concerns that small businesses face in dealing with the city of Centerville, or generally dealing with government at all. And Belinda heads that committee along with Joanne Rao and John Beals. Councilman Beals serve on that committee also. So if you'd like to participate on that committee, feel free to contact Belinda or any council member. And Belinda's here today, and feel free to contact her or anyone else, and we'll definitely get you on the list. There's going to be a meeting that's starting in June, back up in June. We also have a bicycle committee. If you'd like to participate in that, there's a lot of interest in bicycling and pathways, and a very strong bike committee area in Centerville. And John Beals, Joanne Rao, and Mark Engert are the three council members on that committee, joined by a number of citizens, so please feel free to get a hold of John or Joanne or Mark if you'd like to participate in that. And we also have this year, John Palcher is heading up our finance committee, and that's working with our finance director to keep us really informed and citizens informed as to where the city stands from a financial standpoint. And John's headed that committee up with Councilman Bill Sayre and also John Beals. So we appreciate all that you're doing in that regard. We get some terrific reports on how things are going. But just as a little bit of background, Centerville has over 700 businesses. I know that's kind of hard to imagine that there are that many within the city. But really for each of those businesses, every day, we all know as small business owners that it brings opportunities and challenges for us as the owners and also as the employees. Every business day when we open, really every day, every new day is a learning experience. The City Council, through our retreats that we have every year, we dedicated ourselves to and try to realize that we will not be able to make you or your business successful, but we can play a role in helping you do so. And that role is to be done, we feel, if done so properly, we can assist and make your businesses more successful. We do feel that it's the city's responsibility to provide a safe environment for your employees, for you as the employer, and particularly your customers that come to visit you. Lieutenant Joe Levine's going to talk just a little bit about a couple programs. But the police department has assembled a tremendous police department with many services that are simply not available in a normal police setting. Our police department has 24-hour local 911 emergency dispatch. They know where you are, they know where you live, and they're able to get there. It's not a guess as to what your address is or how to get there. They know that. Every police officer is a first responder. They're able to provide life-saving treatment right on the spot before the medics get there from our fire department. That's very important. They've received national accreditation. And as was evidenced early in the year, there's a tremendous level of professionalism which our police department puts forth every day, what's only evidence when it comes up when there's a tragic situation that's happened earlier in this year. But if you have a chance to think about that, the way that our police department handled that, that was exemplary. So Joe, I know we've mentioned this before, but great work there at the police department. We feel it is extremely important that the city maintain properly maintained roads and infrastructure for you to get to work and for people to get to your business. We also feel that top-notch planning and economic development is crucial to get your plans to the city and get your plans through the city. And we feel that the city must make you aware of some of the benefits that you have by being in the city, such as discounts that you have at Yankee Trace, Stubbs Park, Benham's Grove, and many of the social media avenues that are available to you through the city that can provide. And also, Yankee Trace is a benefit that all of you have, so I would suggest that you take advantage of that. And just walked in was our golf professional, Steve Marino, from here at Yankee Trace. And Steve, again, we're off to a great start, I know, at Yankee Trace, but if you have a chance to take advantage of that, do. It's a benefit that you're provided as a member of being in the business community in Centerville. And we do finally feel it's our responsibility to keep the city looking forward with long-term plans, recognizing the needs of all of the members of the business community. So just briefly, I'll just give you a couple highlights of what's ahead for Centerville for the balance of this year. The city is investing heavily in its infrastructure, neighborhood and business infrastructure. The city is investing, under the direction of our Public Works Director, Doug Spittler, $4.1 million. This is the most we've ever invested in infrastructure ever in the city of Centerville. And that's going to be in its street and sidewalk repair and replacement program, along with bikeway improvements. And we've established a capital improvement plan for improvements over the next 4 years of at least $3.4 million per year. We know that the streets needed worked on, and we made that commitment, and Doug and Jim and the rest of the Public Works Department are making that happen. Council is committed to advancing Centerville's bike and pedestrian pathways to promote and advance the ability of our residents and customers and employees to ride and bike throughout Centerville. We hear that greatly, that that's a need within the community, and I know it's coming from both businesses and residents, and we are taking steps to address that demand from our citizens and businesses. 2017, Miami Valley Hospital, Joanne Ringer's here today. They have a big expansion, $60 million expansion out at their South Campus. We're very pleased with what they've done. We're very honored that they've selected and made such a commitment to our community, and that will be adding a number of new jobs to the community along with that investment. GraceWorks has announced about a $20 million project also on our Centerville campus, and they're going to provide expanded options and additional improved facilities for their residents along with additional job opportunities. You've probably heard there's new single-family residential developments that are coming to Centerville. There's one going to be right outside Yankee Trace here, a couple of them here at Yankee Trace. And you'll also see exciting new upscale multifamily developments, such as at the Showcase Cinema site by the Allure. There's been some discussion of that, and they were in front of council the other night. That's going to work hand in hand with Crosspoint Center, take advantage of the commercial location along with the residential. And then there's also an additional new multifamily development which is off of Alex Bill, which is the old Chardonnay site, which will be called the Lofts. And during the course of our review and our analysis for the year, we recognized that we had not added any multifamily for many, many years to this community, and that it was a need. And developers were very pleased that developers are willing to spend millions and millions of dollars to advance and address that need. We're very committed to the success of the AP district in the heart of Centerville and all of Centerville businesses, with a customer-first approach to improve and help those who invested and work here in Centerville. And I'd like if Kathy Jablinski would stand up. Kathy is president of the Heart of Centerville, and that's the business district with the AP district and up at Crosspoint that has really working to improve the business environment. And Kathy, if you have any questions about joining that or participating, it's a very active group. They take care of second Fridays, Food Truck Fridays, which has been very successful. And we just had one last Friday, and it'll be through June, July, and August. And then there's also a lot of continued development at Cornerstone of Centerville. That's always been a big discussion over the years. And you're going to see the new Kroger Marketplace, the Hilton Brand Hotel, additional restaurants and commercial locations, along with what will be a unique and upscale multifamily residential development, along with owner-occupied development in Cornerstone. And finally, this summer, there will be the entertainment at the Heart at Centerville, the Food Truck Fridays, the outstanding summer concert series at Stubbs Park, all the activities that are here at Yankee Trace, including Jazz on the Green on Wednesdays, and of course, Americana. So just one final thought, that if you have your business here in Centerville, we want you to be more than just satisfied with the services that you're being provided by the city. We want you to enjoy the quality of life, and for us to help out in the way we can. And then we want you to grow your business and stay within the city of Centerville. And if you're not satisfied, it is very important that you contact us and let us know. There are 7 council members, a great staff here in the city of Centerville. Let us know if you have a concern or problem, because that's the way we're learning about what goes on in our community, is from you. If you love it here, as those of us who have been here a long time do, spread the word about what Centerville has to offer, because we feel that there is a lot to offer and there's more coming from the city of Centerville. So on behalf of the City Council and the city staff, many of you are here today, and all of our residents, we very much appreciate you making the huge commitment to locate your business in the city of Centerville. You are an extremely important part of what has made Centerville a success. So thank you for being here, and good luck business-wise. And again, at this time, I just really appreciate all of you being here. I know council and staff do. So thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to mention, just take a couple minutes if I could, and Maureen is going to put on a quick slideshow about our city manager. Mr. Horn is not here today, and those of you who have been around this community for a long time, Greg is retiring in July. Greg is not feeling well. He hurt his back. He's not able to be here today. He made it all the way to about 11:30 at our council meeting the other night, and it was a great effort on his part. But just very briefly, some of the accomplishments, you're sitting in one of them. Greg Horn came on board before Yankee Trace was here, and we refer to this as the house that Shirley Hines built, but it was the house that was made possible by Greg Horn. He put in the financial commitment to the city and put in the proper financial aspects to make it work properly. So Greg has done a number of things. We're going to miss him greatly. The police building, the new public works facility, very active, and the Kroger Marketplace. That was extremely important that that stay in the city of Centerville and not move down the street. The cornerstone of Centerville has been one of his very much involved in that. And also, if you'll see when the slideshow comes through here, that Yankee Trace, what a tremendous economic development tool that has been for the city and all the other governmental entities, particularly the schools who receive quite a bit of money out of the Yankee Trace development. So if you get a chance to see Greg, he'll be back and back up on his feet very shortly. Tell him what a great job he's done, because he has done a tremendous job. We're going to miss him. He's been an integral part of this community, and he's done so with great financial respect for the citizens of our community and a great professionalism and ethical commitment to our community. So Greg, I wish you were here today. I hope he feels better, but he should be back on his feet within the next couple of days. So if you see him, say something to him. I know he would very much appreciate it. And Nathan, at this time, I think what we'll do is call up Sergeant Levine, who just has a couple comments about some of the services that are provided by the City Police Department. Thank you all again. Lieutenant?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm glad to be here this morning. Thank you for giving me just a few minutes of your time. The police department is here to serve you. I know that kind of sounds kind of corny, but it really is. It's the partnership we have with you. And the mayor touched on what happened to us earlier this year, and the heartfelt support from the businesses and the citizens of the city was overwhelming to us. We can't do our job without you. You're our eyes and ears. We are here for you. We're here to serve you. We have several different programs that are available at the police department for you and your businesses. We do a lot of fraud training that's at no cost to you, including like how to accept checks properly. So if they do go bad, we know how to go back and prosecute them, find the people, and probably 95% of the time, they end up paying them anyway, so to avoid the prosecution of it. With a lot of other frauds with the credit cards and things like that, Officer John Davis, our community resource officer, has a lot of programs to teach your employees on how to properly recognize what the fraud is and how they're accomplishing some of the fraud that they do. The other program that we offer that I just wanted to take a brief moment to tell you about is the Run, Hide, Fight program. Our officers, in conjunction with Miami Valley Crime Prevention, have developed a program to teach the Run, Hide, Fight that is a short version that can teach all of your employees what to do in the time of a crisis. It does not cost anything. We can host it at our place. We can come to your place. But Officer John Davis is the one that teaches that course, and he's taught it all over the country, and it's being adopted in Florida and several other states because it has been so successful for us, and we're very proud of that program. We also offer the Citizens Police Academy and a lot of other different types of programs. If you'd like more information, I could go on up here all day, but if you're welcome to get on our website. My email's on the website, my phone number's on the website. You can reach out to me and I can get you in touch with Officer Davis or any of our officers that can give you any of that information that you need. We'll be glad to come to you, but we love to have you come see us at the police department. We're pretty proud of our facility as well. But thank you very much for being here with us this morning. And again, if you need anything, just let me know. Okay, Mr. Mayor, thank
you, sir. Thank you, Lieutenant. Nathan Cahal is our Economic Development Director. He's going to make a couple comments about some of the programs that are taking place in the city of Centerville. Thank you, Nathan.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everybody. I know we're getting close to the dismissal time, so I want to be very respectful of everyone's time because everyone's got to get back to work. But just kind of provide our guests here a little bit of a brief economic development update on what's going on in our community. As the mayor said, we have over approximately 700 businesses in our community. Most are predominantly medium to small-sized businesses. And What makes our community, I think, as successful as it has been over the last several years is there are community assets. We have a wonderful public school district. We have wonderful institutional users such as the hospital, the library, our park districts, and our strategic location on I-675, which has become the new Main Street of the Dayton region. Wonderful groundbreaking the other day at Miami Valley South. They're going to be investing just a meager $60 million into their facility there off of Clio Road and Wilmington Pike. Really excited about that. The Woodburn Library, Kim and her team are undertaking some major renovations of that facility to try to meet the needs of a ever-changing client base here in our community for library services. But we really want to hit upon a couple big economic development programs we offer here in the community. Number one is our Business First program. The second one is our partnership with Montgomery County and the EDGE program. Some of our incentive grants that we offer for folks that are looking to expand their workforce, and also our expansion of the community reinvestment area citywide. But our Business First is a consortium, local governments, public institutions, nonprofits, not-for-profits, about 100 regional resource partners that assist small and medium and large-sized businesses across the spectrum. See Mr. Noss back there at County Corp, our area's community nonprofit economic development lender. He's one of our resource partners that helps businesses secure funding for real estate acquisition, buying machinery, buying other fixed assets. But really, in terms of anything from, hey, I want to consider providing my employees a health care package, but I don't know really even where to begin or how to shop for it, to I'm getting ready to retire, I need a succession plan, to I need to buy some real estate, and everything in between. We don't have an app for that, but the Business First program probably has a resource partner for that. And so I would encourage anyone on any kind of topic, just reach out to my office, to the city, and we can put you into contact probably within one business day of someone who can provide you some guidance, some services, and do it for free. Another program we provide here in the city is our EDGE program. The county commissioners in Montgomery County set aside a certain amount of sales tax dollars every year for strategic and targeted economic development projects. The city's partnered with the county on this one for more than 20 years, and we continue to do so. We just haven't had any projects here in the last couple years to apply for. One of the biggest things we do to help businesses that are looking to expand their workforce is we offer what we call a property investment reimbursement grant. That companies who are looking to expand their workforce, the city can grant to them on a performance basis a certain percentage of the increase of income tax revenue generated from that new workforce that can go back into the business to cover the costs of expansion space, training, recruiting, business disruption, and a few other items there. And many of our businesses here in the community have taken advantage of that as they start to plan major, and when I say major for a small business, that might be hiring 5 or 6 people, and some of our other businesses that might be hiring 50. But it's something in that the city offers on a case-by-case basis to incentivize folks to increase their workforce more rapidly. And the good thing is for the public treasury and for the taxpayer is that it's on a performance basis. So if the goals aren't met, there's nothing prepaid to the business and to that company. It is based on performance. And then probably the key tool in our toolbox for the redevelopment of many of our commercial areas and our residential areas is the City Council had the wisdom back in 2010 to expand our community reinvestment area citywide for the most part, which provides property tax relief on the increase in valuation from certain renovation projects, business expansions, the building of new commercial buildings. So if you go to the next slide, Maureen, one example is, and that guy looks like a really tough guy, but Eric's really a softie there in that picture. This is our new Montessori school on Wilmington Pike near 725 in the CRA. In the assistance in financing that project, I know County Corp enjoyed this little component, is that under the program, for the first 15 years that they are there, they will only be paying property taxes on the value of the raw land before they built their building, which is a significant cost savings for that company that allowed them to finance this project and move forward. Another example we have is, you saw Mike's Nashville Hot and Jimmy John's, that building. We took a kind of rundown, used to be I think a Ponderosa, and then it became a KFC, and something that had lived its useful life. Developer comes in, redevelops it, and got a 12-year abatement on the increase in valuation after demolition. So it's a very powerful tool. For the realtors in the room or whatnot, this also applies to residential properties in the city, single-family houses that are over 25 years old. So always tell clients that if they're going to finish that basement, they're going to add on a sunroom, they're going to make that garage into a 4th bedroom. There's some paperwork to fill out, but they can avoid a property tax increase for up to 10 years on those types of improvements. Same way here with Freddie's. But going into this year, there's one number I want you to walk away with today to kind of get your mind around something, and that is $250 million. That is how much new construction and development is either currently underway this year or is in the pipeline. And that's a big number to really, for a community our size, it's a huge number. Last year we witnessed positive economic growth, both in new projects, but also in employment growth here in the community. And we continue to see that trend. And just to tell you how big of a jump that is, only last year we only had about $31 million in new construction and renovation work. And we're looking at, almost a 8 or 9-fold increase in that. And I can't say enough, though, for the support of the community. Our city council campaigned very diligently that the passage of issue 3 this last fall is now allowing the city, because we had to pull back the reins because of state budget cuts, the recession, and other reasons, that it's finally allowing the city to get back into the game of properly maintaining excellent infrastructure and making strategic investments in this community that are to the benefit of not only our residents but also our businesses moving forward. So this year we're seeing a lot of activity. Andrew, the planning department, is super busy. We have monster agendas that go till 1 o'clock in the morning some nights, like this last Monday night. And we are seeing progress in this community that we haven't seen for probably a decade or more. And we know that so many of you in this community, in this building, in this room, have played a part and continue to play a part in that trend. We thank you for that. And with that, Mayor, I'll conclude my remarks and maybe open up for questions. Questions? Yeah.
I'll take just a couple minutes for any questions. Are there any questions? We will be around afterwards, but any questions or suggestions or concerns that you might have? It's a very happy group. It's a very satisfied group. Well, we will be around after the breakfast this morning to answer any questions or concern, and the exhibits stay open until 9:30. But again, we have a couple, before you leave, before we close, we have a couple gift certificates to hand out. The first one is going to be 2 brunch certificates for brunch here at Yankee Trace. If you haven't had a chance to have that, do that, that's great. And Mr. Pulcher, would you pick one out there?
All right, yeah, I'm a regular dad thing.
Yeah. Yeah, John's here on a regular basis, so he's not going to win. So.
Okay, we got Richard Jones.
Richard Jones. Richard here.
All right.
Okay. Okay. And we have 2 more brunch certificates. I'll pick one out. Joe Cronenberger. Joe is the manager at the West Bank of here in Centerville, and just recently they were doing some renovation and they ran across a number of historical pictures and drawings and renderings of the city of Centerville, and graciously gave those to the city of Centerville, and they're being dispensed throughout the community. So Joe, thank you very much for doing that. And we also have 2 9-hole rounds of golf with a cart. And there's three of those available. Steve Marino is nice enough to offer these for the outing. And
We got Tammy Mercado.
Tammy Mercado.
All right.
Okay. Terry Dandria. Okay. You have until Saturday to use these gift certificates. And the last one for 2 rounds of golf with a cart is Steve Withrow. Again, we thank you very much for being here today. Exhibits stay open until 9:30. Please come to us with any concerns or suggestions you have. It was a pleasure having all of you, and I know that on behalf of the City Council and city staff that we are honored by your locating your business and having your business within the city of Centerville. So anything we can do or suggestions that you think we could do to help you, please bring them to us. Again, thank you for being here.